When a firefighter runs into a burning building, what do you think is the most dangerous thing they face? Is it the fire itself? A roof caving in? Well, what if it's none of those? What if the real danger is the simple fact that the air they're carrying on their back is running out second by second? Today, we're going to dig into this critical, often overlooked part of firefighter survival, air consumption. This line says it all, really. In that kind of chaotic, high-stress situation, breathing isn't just something you do automatically. No, it becomes a resource you have to manage. Every single breath in and out literally determines how much work you can get done and, more importantly, whether you're going to make it out safely.
And yeah, that's the question that drives everything, isn't it? It's the ultimate what if that every single firefighter has to prepare for. Because when that air tank hits zero, your options get real limited real fast.
So this brings us to a really crucial way of reframing the danger. We instinctively look at the flames and think, that's the enemy. But for the person inside, the most immediate and relentless foe is something else entirely. Think about it like this. That self-contained breathing apparatus, the SCBA, it's a total lifeline, but it's a lifeline with a deadline. It's basically a personal countdown clock that starts the second you go on air, and it dictates every single move you make inside. So how in the world do you fight a clock? You can't stop it, right? But you can learn how to manage it. And this is where training comes in, transforming a finite resource, air, into the most valuable thing you can have on the fireground, time. And this is the solution, the air consumption test. Now, this isn't just some grueling workout, it's a scientific method. The whole point is to gather cold, hard data on how your specific body uses air when you're under the kind of stress that feels just like a real fire. And make no mistake, this is a serious, professional operation. Before anyone even thinks about starting, there's this meticulous safety checklist. You're checking your cylinder pressure, inspecting every last piece of gear, making absolutely sure that your low air alarm works. You've got safety officers and EMS on standby. They cut zero corners here. I love this quote from an instructor because it just lays it all out. The goal is crystal clear. Figure out your personal baseline. This isn't about competing against the person next to you. It's about answering one simple question. When the pressure's on, how much time do I have? Okay, so now we get to the test itself. This is where all that prep meets a pretty demanding physical reality. It's a grueling circuit, and it's designed to feel just like the hard work of actual firefighting. The moment a firefighter opens that cylinder and takes that very first breath, bam, the clock starts. The simulation is live, and from here on out, there are no breaks. And the work is non-stop. You're moving through a series of tasks they call evolutions, which are basically just simulated firefighting jobs. We're talking dragging a heavy water-filled hose line, throwing up a ladder, climbing stairs in full gear, dragging a rescue dummy, and then simulating overhaul, which is where you're looking for hidden fires. It's all designed to get your heart rate jacked up and push you to your limits. But here's the secret sauce. What really makes the difference isn't just raw strength, it's control. There's this very specific breathing technique. In through your nose and slowly out through your mouth. That's the key to making that air last and buying yourself precious time. And here's the instructor's #1 piece of advice. In a high-stress situation, your first instinct is to rush, to go frantic. But this training teaches you the exact opposite. Deliberate, efficient, steady movement. That's what keeps your air consumption down and keeps you in the game longer. As you get tired and your muscles start to burn, it really becomes a mental game. It all boils down to this simple little mantra: focus your mind, endure the pain, and control your breathing. That's the discipline you have to rely on when every instinct in your body is screaming at you to panic. And you just keep going, pushing through until you hear that jarring, high-pitched sound, the low air alarm. Now, that's not a sign of failure, that's the end of the test. That is the exact data point they were looking for. So when that alarm goes off, the physical part is done. But, in a lot of ways, the most important part of the whole thing is just getting started. It's time to analyze what just happened. The second that alarm sounds, the stopwatch is hit. The firefighter gets off the course, and the results are immediately recorded. We're talking total time, how many of those evolutions they completed, and the exact air pressure left in the tank. This is so cool because it shows how all that sweat and effort gets turned into real, actionable intelligence. You can see the differences right here. Firefighter C lasted over 20 minutes, but firefighter B was just over 16. So why? What does that remaining pressure tell us? This data creates a unique survival profile for every single person.
And the questions they ask in the debrief, that's everything. The goal isn't just to get a single number. It's about tracking your progress over time. Did those breathing techniques actually work for you? Were you moving too fast, too frantically? This is all about getting better and better at the science of survival. So what does this all build up to? This entire exhausting, data-driven process is designed to teach one fundamental, absolutely critical concept. And there it is. That's the whole ballgame. Understanding your personal air consumption rate isn't just some abstract number on a chart. It's a clear, defined boundary. It tells you exactly how far you can go, and more importantly, when you absolutely have to turn around and get out. So here's the bottom line. While it might look like a grueling endurance test, its true purpose is so much deeper. It's a practical, life-saving exercise in defining the absolute limits of your own survival when you know things are going to get tough. And this really leaves us with a fascinating thought. Firefighters have this standardized physical way to find their breaking points so they can operate safely right up to that edge. And it just makes you wonder, for the rest of us, when the pressure is on in our own lives, how well do we truly know our own limits?